rough time, personally over the last week or so. So can you just, not that you need to get into details or anything, but you've really been through a tough emotional time, right?
Yeah, moves out for a while, visiting a family member, and supporting them and supporting my family. So just wanted to be around him and show him that he's loved during this tough time and be present.
And how much did you appreciate the fact that Kevin Stefanski, the Browns, just gave you all the time that you needed to tend to your family member?
It really means a lot. It shows how much trust they have in me to go out there and be where I need to be with them at that time, but also come back and do what I'm supposed to do to get back with the team and be on top of it when I get back.
How's it going football-wise? You're not going to play in the preseason, I don't think, but you feel like you're where you want to be here with a couple weeks left.
I'm on the unofficial depth chart for that third game, so we'll see if I end up playing or not. But I feel like I'm in a good spot all around, and I'm happy to be able to get the chance to go back out there whenever it is.
Myles, you know your Week 1 opponent, and you're very familiar with Baker Mayfield. So, are you going to start already preparing, watching film, and how do you feel about facing Baker in the opener?
No, I'll end up watching film when I get to that week. Right now we have the Bears, and so I'm going to treat them just like I would any other regular season opponent. So I'm gonna study my matchup, study the quarterback, study the tendencies and how they work together, and try to get not only myself prepared, but my teammates prepared for what I see all along the line.
When we talked to you a couple months ago, you brought up some of the little things you've been focusing on training-wise, and particularly the core stuff. I guess when you've gotten out here on the field, have you noticed a difference with that stuff? Are you happy with the progress you made there with your training?
I have. I felt really good with going out there and being able to do things consistently, and not having some of these nagging aches and pains in certain areas, and just being able to work on my conditioning a lot this offseason. I know I've always been working on it, but just doing it a little bit differently has helped me significantly.
Did you expect Baker to win that job?
Did I expect him to win that job? I didn't really think about it, whether he won it or not. I know I had to play the Panthers, so I'm happy that he won it. I don't wish any ill upon him, but I wasn't expecting to be looking at any other quarterback.
That's an unfamiliar opponent for the Browns. They've played that team fewer than any team in the league. That has to add spice to that game, doesn't it?
No. I take it as it comes. Whoever the opponent is that week, I just end up studying them, and it's like when you get out here and you scrimmage against your guys. It's just another guy to go against, and you study them as they show up. Whether it's first team, second team, third team, guys come in and out every day, every week on the practice field. That's the same way you have to prepare for guys during the regular season. There's going to be a new matchup. You have to study him. You have to learn his tendencies. You have to learn how he's going to be on the field compared to those tendencies. And so I don't think it makes any difference if we haven't played him much before. The familiarity is nice, but you're not always going to be familiar with your opponent. So you have to learn from other guys and talk to your teammates as well as studying film.
Hey, Myles, yesterday, though, Baker said that the game will mean more because it is the Browns. Will it mean more to you guys because it's Baker?
No.
Why not?
Well, he's my former teammate, but I don't have any. There's no rivalry there between me and him, and there's no rivalry there between the Panthers and the Browns. Yes, he was here, but it doesn't mean I have an added sense of urgency to get to him. I want to play my best, and whatever's in the cards, that's what's it for me. But if I can help my team win, if I can put them in the best position to win, I'm gonna do that. And if I can get a couple sacks along the way, I'd kind of enjoy that too.
Myles, there is some uncertainty in offense. Do you feel, as the leader of the defense, that it's really up to the defense to set the tone for the way the Browns play this year?
I always feel like that's our job, to set the tone. I feel like as a defense, you have to make those stands. You have to take the ball away. You're always giving energy to the other two teams on the field, which is special teams and offense. Showing that you can stand up and keep points off the board. And so it's always a matter of momentum. I think we have the best chance of doing that.
You
tried to impart, some wisdom on Alex, being the rookie coming in, being your back. What have been some of those conversations with him been like?
I mean, it really come right after the moment and in film sessions. Just him seeing things that he hadn't seen on an NFL level, as far as his mechanics. He has really good mechanics. He's athletic. He's explosive, but some different types of blocks that he hasn't seen. Who do I attack and where, and some of those positional and assignment work. Things that I've seen a little bit more of. Just trying to make it more simple for him, so that he doesn't have to slow down and think. He's just able to go and fly off the ball.
Now, Myles, usually when you prepare for an opponent, you watch his game film against other teams. So what are you going to do in the case of Mayfield? Are you going to watch how Pittsburgh defended him or what?
We don't play like Pittsburgh, so I would watch a 4-3 defense and know how they did it. But I think there's some good examples as far as how teams have rushed us before, and so just trying to use those for example. And mostly it's the same upon the line, but I just got to see how they set with him. I know they're set a little bit differently, and their chemistry is going to be a little bit different. So seeing how they're going to allow that, and watching the preseason games and seeing really what he's doing. Has he changed his depth at all? Is he stepping up more? Is he stepping back in the pocket? Just where he's locating himself, trying to make plays.
But the fact that the Steelers were more successful against them than any team takes note of their games against them, even though they play different defense.
No, because we don't run their defense. So it wouldn't be applicable to me to watch them if I'm not going to be in that position to make that play. So if they had a great game, but they're running a 3-4, I'm not going to be a 3-4 linebacker coming off the edge. So I have to look at teams that are going to do what we're going to do, but who did at a very high level and do it efficiently. Maybe if they didn't have all those sacks or big numbers, but they put a lot of hits on or applied pressure and made it difficult for him. We just have to be a little bit more efficient than them.
Myles, I know last year you talked a lot about reaching greatness and how legendary comes after greatness for you. I guess just what have you been focusing on physically and mentally to try to reach those stratospheres you want to get to in your career?
Consistency all around. In my life, I think it's a lot easier to be consistent on the football field if you're consistent in your life and your preparation throughout your day. And just trying to add a little bit more structure, going up to waking up in the morning and getting through all this. And after I leave, I feel like if everything's steady and smooth, then you don't have to worry about this, because you're going into it with a steady state of mind, and it'll feel like it just flows for you.
Have you altered your routine at all? I think some guys talk about you meditating maybe or something like that. Have you altered your routine and what you do each day?
I have, but I can't give that away. It's like I can't offer my flow state to someone else.
Myles, would you say that you guys have the greater edge going against Baker Mayfield from knowing him so well, or might Baker Mayfield have the edge from knowing you guys so well?
I don't think it really matters, just because he has tendencies, and I'm sure he likes to throw the ball in certain spots along the field, but he has different targets. He has a different line, so he's going to have to change as well. And he has different coaches who are going to work with him on those things that they've seen that he likes to do. So I'm sure we're going to see not a completely different Baker, but someone who's worked on some of his weaknesses and some of, like I said, his tendencies to be like a more complete player and diversify himself.
And you guys will change things up too, so that he's not familiar with everything you're about to do?
I think we'll do the same old thing. Let's see what happens.
Myles, last year the division got kind of flipped on its head with the Bengals winning it. In your 6 years, is this as balanced as you've seen the AFC North?
It has. I think everyone's pretty good this year, and I couldn't say that every year that I've been here, but everyone has a chance to win it, and now it's just about execution and technique. Everyone has good players, and there's a lot of stars on each team and in each position. Now it's just about those guys stepping up to the plate and making those plays when they need to, and carrying those guys alongside them.
Myles, you were the top 100 is being released, and there's 20 players left. Where do you expect yourself in the NFL 100?
What do I expect myself? somewhere in the top 20. I don't want to rate myself. I'm not sure.
You know, what do you think you should rate?
Oh, I think I should be 1. But I mean, I'm not voting. So
Myles, you were talking about working on your craft earlier. How much do you watch like other pass rushers when going through that process?
I watch other pass rushers all the time. I mean, I watch all across the league. I think everyone does things differently, and I think there's a lot of different, body types, execution techniques, and some might be more applicable than others. But you have to see how other guys are winning and try to see if you can apply that on the practice field. And then you have to have the courage and the willingness to go out and attempt those things on the game, even if they don't work the first time or second time. Just trying to get a feel and exploit some things that you're seeing from your opponents each week.
You were just asked about the top 100. It feels like on a lot of these lists, it's you and TJ kind of at the top among pass rushers. Is there anything about him that you take away or admire about the way that he plays, even though he's on a rival team?
I mean, I think he's a very savvy player. He knows what's coming most of the time. As far as running past, he's able to get a good jump on the ball. He has a really good get off, and I think he works the edge really well. I'd like to talk to him and see a little bit into his mindset. But I really like his game and how he's able to work his hands. I know he's learned a lot from his brother in that regard. But he keeps guys off balance. He's able to play extended and get that separation. He applies pressure, which we like to talk about, but keeping that separation where you're not allowing a guy to get his hands on you, but you're doing the opposite.
So you guys play in rival teams. You see each other twice a year at least, sometimes more than that. And it seems like at least the last couple of years, you guys back and forth, like who's leading the NFL in sacks. Is he a barometer at all for you, a guy you compare yourself to? Or is it just all pass rushers that you're looking at in that way?
I mean, I look at everyone like that. Just trying to study, how they study their game, study their mindset going into it. And I don't like to compare myself to anyone, just because I think I have a lot of different things that I bring to the table, and I don't think anyone has the particular set of skills that I have. But I think in his own right and what he does that at the highest level. And there's other guys who don't get the great numbers like him or me, but who are also very good, talented edge rushers. And it's not a good barometer for just saying sacks apply to how good you are. There's a lot of different stats and statistics that really tell how good you are and how well you're rushing edge.
So it's 11 games without Watson. What do you think of that?
I think it's an opportunity. I think it's a challenge. So I feel like us as a defense, we have to look forward to taking on that task. Obviously he's a very dynamic player, and we might miss his presence on offense, but that's an opportunity for us to step up to the plate and be a very dominant defense, regardless of what the offense does.
Myles, I've asked some of your teammates who's sitting on a big year. A lot of them have said you. So I want to ask you, who do you think on this team sitting on a big year?
Jordan Elliott.
What do you see from him?
One, I think he's come in 20 pounds bigger, mostly muscle, and he's probably the most explosive I've seen him since he's been here. And he's so comfortable in this defense now. I think he's in a good state of mind, and I think he's really all signs are pointing towards him having a very successful year.
Myles, Chris Kiffin describes you as more locked in than ever this summer, and believes that absolutely 100% you should contend for NFL Defensive Player of the Year. So what's it like to receive a vote of confidence like that from your position guy who knows you best?
I'd hope my position guy would have that vote of confidence for me, but it means a lot coming from Kiff. He's a tough guy to please, but I'm glad I've been making strides, as a leader and as a teammate out here, just trying to put my best foot forward and be the guy these guys can look up to and help inspire them.